The SG Resorts Hotel Program. It's keeping our building open and operational, and it's a hassle-free guaranteed income that offsets the cost of ownership at the 60/60. Who does he represent? This is Mr. Lieberman. Does he represent Velez and the half dozen delinquent owners? Or does he represent the 60/60 Condominium Association? You can see from his credentials that this is a young man that is well educated. He's a professional, and he is probably one of the best in the field of bankruptcy. But it is deeply concerning to many owners when he appears to be pushing the special agenda of Velez that has been going on for years and not protecting, in the opinion of many, the best interest of our association. Mr. Lieberman stated Schecher is strong-arming unit owners into joining his hotel program by enforcing unreasonable restrictions on the use of and access to their units, strong-arming unit owners into joining his program. Sadly, the truth appears to be something that Mr. Lieberman seems to have a great deal of difficulty with. Owners on the hotel program have been members of the hotel program for years, and not one single owner, not one, has ever been strong-armed to join by Schecher, or anyone else for that matter, as represented by Mr. Lieberman. In fact, in reality, Schecher has been in retirement for the last 5 to 8 years and was never even involved until October of 2016 in the operations or the administration of the 60/60. So again, I say the truth is something that Mr. Lieberman seems to have a little difficulty with. In fact, only a few new owners have joined in 2017 and at the end of 2016, and most owners have joined the hotel program to either pay their monthly maintenance fees, this is the offset of the cost of ownership, or to help pay down their HU balance. The owners on the hotel program, which there are 50, and several more joining as this webinar is taking place, these are the responsible owners that understand the value of the hotel program and how it relates to every owner, including the HU hotel owner, ability to get our building open, and keep it operational. Maybe it's time for the responsible owners who are actually paying their bills, who actually paid off their balance. Maybe these people need to make or file a bar complaint if Mr. Lieberman continues with what it appears that he's promoting the Velez agenda rather than representing our association. It does appear that Mr. Lieberman is spending the $50,000 retainer fighting the hotel program rather than coming up with a bankruptcy plan or anything else to help our association. Now let's take a look at the actual floor by floor look at what owners owe. There was a previous webinar that went into great detail regarding the debt of various owners, and it's outlined here, floor by floor. It shows you the fifth floor owes roughly $483,942 all the way up to the 16th floor. And it also shows the average, what each unit owes, and it also lists here the largest. Now, the question becomes the units on the hotel program. the moving forward plan and the ability of our building to stay open, or even to get open for that effect, was the 50 some owners that are on the hotel program. We can go floor by floor and take a look at the owners that are on the program. And this does not include the new 16 owners that are coming on board. But look at the fifth floor: 501, 502, 504, 505, 506. Look at the seventh floor: 701, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. We have the majority of the owners at the 6060 are on the hotel program. These are the owners that are using the hotel program to their advantage to earn income, to pay the monthly fees that are required to pay the bills that keep our building open. It's really simple, and if you look at this chart, you'll see that fifth floor, there's 62.5%. There's one unit on the fifth floor that's out of service, which is another 12%. So when that's up and running, the fifth floor will have, again, over 70%. The same is true with the sixth floor. The seventh floor already has 87%. When the two units out of service, if they come on board, it gets higher. The bottom line here, people, is take a look floor by floor. And the majority of floors have the majority of owners, for the most part, on the hotel program. There's a lot of things taking place. We have 11 new units in the process right now as we speak to joining. We have the banks are exiting. They are deeding back or just basically they're leaving. They see there's no benefit to staying as an owner at 6060 as a bank. So they are either selling, which there is no market, or they're making a deal with the HU owner to get back the units and wipe out their debt. In addition to the banks paying, we have the hotel owner made a new agreement. The hotel operator and the HU owner made a new agreement where the hotel operator is going to start picking up certain expenses that it never did before. And this is a bottom line savings to every single unit owner at the 6060. We're not going to be covering the payroll for the front desk. That's a huge savings for us. We're not going to be covering the cost of the concierge or the cost of the valet. That's going to be a huge savings for us. And there are several more budget items that I have been able to negotiate with the hotel operator to pick up. And the bottom line for us is that the hotel keeps our building open and it keeps our building operational. This is why we say cooperation is the foundation upon any plan that is required for the success of the 6060. Now again, Mr. Lieberman makes certain statements before the court, which I have very difficult time accepting. And I would ask Mr. Lieberman over and over again, who do you represent? Who does he represent? I would ask owners, how do you guarantee you get paid when the $50,000 retainer is gone? There's no money in the bank for the association. Velez admitted under oath that there's about $4,000 in the bank. And if she wants to keep the legal fight going and keep the battle going that she lost in court 2 times already, there's only one answer to this question. You allow Velez to pass an illegal budget, just like she did on January 17th, with about a 700% increase, 700% higher than any budget in the history of the 6060 Condominium Association. And in this budget is about $650,000 in association legal costs. This is the total madness, and this is what must end. Mr. Lehman can say whatever he likes, but the truth and the facts do not support what he's representing in court. He told the court that his client had to take the steps to her unit. Well, that's not true, and we have it on videotape, and we can prove that. It's false what he makes the statement about Schecher strong-arming unit owners. Schecher was never involved at 6060, and over 50% of the owners are on the hotel program. They were not strong-armed, and over 99% of the owners were participants since 2013. And all the rules and all the regulations that Schecher enforces are state or city requirements. It isn't something Schecher made up. You'll find it in the condominium declarations or in the state of Florida or the city of Miami Beach requirements in order to rent a unit at a hotel property. Schecher follows the condo documents. The declarations of our condominium is sort of the Bible that every owner is required to follow, including Schecher, the residential owners, and the commercial owners. It's really that simple. Now, Lieberman refuses to acknowledge that the association and the HU owner are tied together financially, and the HU pays no assessments per the 6060 condominium declarations. Now, I say this because Lieberman repeatedly takes action that causes more confusion and more expense for the members of the association with his continued attacks or pokes at the HU owner. It appears Lieberman would rather fight with the HU owner than work together to solve the financial issues at the 6060. We have a businessman and a business owner versus a lawyer. On one side, you have someone who has invested millions of dollars in our property, and on the other side, you have someone that is making tens of thousands of dollars off the problems, real or imaginary. The retired businessman uses math and logic to support his agenda. He objects to paying $650,000 in legal costs. He stands by the facts versus the false claims. He follows the condo declarations. And he has a plan to save all owners at the 6060 a lot of money. In fact, over the next 10 years, there's one part of his plan will save owners, the association at least, $3 million. It can be wiped out immediately. He has a proven track record of success. 68 years old with over 48 years in many different businesses. Each one of them is a multi-million-dollar successful business. Each one of them he created from nothing. And this same businessman is committed to the future of the 6060, and he has millions of dollars at risk to make certain the future of the 6060 is going to be one of success. And he also volunteers his time, came out of retirement, and volunteers. He does not get paid, and he spends many, many days working long hours for the 6060. Now we have a young, very bright attorney who got paid a $50,000 retainer and is paid by the hour, maybe $350 or more by the hour. And if he brings his partner in, we're looking at about, who knows, it could be $600 to $700 an hour. We have a lawyer who seems he'd rather fight the majority of owners who are on the hotel program, representing the Velez agenda versus the HU owner, an agenda that was defeated in state court, an agenda that was under a settlement agreement that nobody seems to want to abide by, and yet the attorney ignores the association condo declarations, which are very clear. Declarations that outline the responsibilities of not only the residential unit owners, but of the hotel the HU unit owner. No reason to object to passing the Velez budget to fund $650,000 in legal fees. Think about it. Why would an attorney object to Velez funding $650,000 to pay his fees? And my only concern, after being in years and years in business, what happens when the retainer and the money is gone? Well, when it's gone, so is the attorney. He's gone when the money runs out to pay him to do whatever it is he's doing. And in my opinion, what he's doing works against the best interest of everybody in our association. We have the person with millions invested at 60/60 fighting to save owners money, while we have the attorney, without question, is costing owners big money. Just look at the budget that Velez passed. I want a divorce. I want to stop paying lawyers, and I want to start paying the bills of our building. And this is a disclaimer because Mr. Lieberman has already filed for sanctions against me, claiming somehow I have a plan filed to bring us out of bankruptcy, which I do not. My only concern is to get on the board of directors and to end the madness. That's my plan. I stated some things that I think Mr. Lieberman, if he would work with me, if he would listen and talk and sit down at a table and negotiate and try to find out what's real and what isn't. But my disclaimer is this. This is not a plan to exit bankruptcy. It is my opinion, a statement of facts as I see them, and a request that all 60/60 unit owners vote to stop the madness and take our building back from the lawyers. Because today, just like in a divorce, nobody wins with Velez and her board. Nobody but the lawyers. It's no different than a divorce. If you've ever been through a divorce, when it's all said and done, the lawyers get everything and you're left with little. And I see this unfolding and taking place right here at the 60/60 today.